guys, we're back here at Mobile Esports Arena's Arena of Valor First Blood Tournament. Now we're going to watch the match between two other teams, Dominitus, Astra, and Nexus Esports. But first of all, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Kaysaya, and I'm with
Arctic at the service, fam.
You're currently watching us live here on MeSA Official's Twitch. But of course, don't forget to like their Facebook pages and subscribe to their YouTube account. MeSA Official is the only username, so easy to remember, guys.
So there you have it, guys. Of course, you are watching quarterfinals right now. And later on, we'll be determining who will ultimately be the first winner of MeSA's First Blood Arena Valor tournament. And that's kind of history being made here. First Arena Valor tournament for MeSA, so why not be the first champ?
Who will be, this is like quite an important event as well, for not only for MeSA but for the AOV community here in the Philippines. Who will be the first champ for this tournament?
And I mean, we've been talking about earlier how mobile gaming esports in general just really starting to boom, and come 2018 I wouldn't be surprised if we have a lot more of these tournaments. And it's interesting that through these organizations such as MeSA, we're able to really boost the industry for mobile gaming, and it's an honor for the both of us to be casting this right now. And looks like we'll be heading into the pick and ban phase once again. This is game 1 for our second match of the day for the quarterfinals between Dominitus Astra versus Nexus Esports.
Yes, on the left side we can see Dominitus Astra, and on the right side it's Nexus Esports. Okay, so there is quite an interesting ban here from Dominitus Astra. They've actually banned Chognar, but on the right side, let's see who's they going to ban.
Let's go ahead and see Chognar. I like that ban right there. Clearly, for the side of Dominitus Astra, they might be going for a composition with a lot of CC, perhaps. A lot of potential assassination. Looks like the Raz.
Raz, yeah.
So there you have it. Raz going to be first lock in. Malok, though, going to be taken away by Nexus Esports. That would have actually been a pretty good pick for Dominitus Astra, considering that they did ban the Chognar.
Yeah, and a bit of trivia in here. Leather from the red side is actually a Raz main. And it's interesting that the blue side actually took it. They stole Raz in here, and now we can see here a Fennec pick on the red side. And there are two warriors. Warrior pick from the blue side.
Ormar as well as the Lubu. Indeed. And that will be the lock-in right then and there. Pretty solid picks thus far. I'm like this Fennec pick, and if this is going to be for Leather in particular, this could be a Fennec in the jungle. So, I mean, Fennec in itself, mobile as well, but one of the beautiful things about Fennec is the AoE damage that he gets from his auto attacks whenever you get able to get the full stacks off his abilities. But let's go ahead and see, though. Alice and Arthur will be locked in potentially for Nexus Esports.
Looks like it is.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, let's see the last two picks for the blue side. So far, they don't have a marksman in here. Let's see what is going to be the marksman pick of Fiora. And there we go. We have a Slims.
Here you go, Slims as well as a Lumber going to be locked in to round up the composition that Dominitus Astra has. And wow, Nexus Esports going to be going the double marksman composition. But of course, like we mentioned, Fennec will be going in the jungle. So we have seen these double marksman compositions in competitive as well. And overall, what I like about Nexus Esports draft is that it's just pretty much geared towards making sure that nobody can get a finger on the Joker as well as Fennec. I mean, you have a solid initiator and technically a great disruptor through the Malok and
a crowd
Alice.
Control as well.
Exactly. Great crowd control, and the Arthur himself, just one slab of beef gonna go straight in on you. But you can't discount the fact that Dominitus Astra, they have a pretty decent composition working for themselves as well. If Raz could potentially isolate a target, those key targets from Nexus Esports, like I mentioned, the Joker and the Fennec, those are those two targets that you really want to get at. And Alice as well, she's pretty squishy. Then it would kind of ease the burden of having to go up against these 5 heroes. But then again, it all comes down to executing towards your win conditions. Whether or not these two teams can live up to that, we'll just have to see.
Or yeah, you mentioned Alice is squishy, but it actually depends on how you will build your hero. But anyway, guys, we can see here the lineup of Dominitus Astra. They have Raz, Ormar, Lubus, Leams, and Lumber. What do they have there in Nexus Esports?
Yes, for Nexus Esports, we have the Alice, Arthur, the Joker, Fennec, and Malok for that side. And man, oh man, this is going to make quite an interesting game. Like you mentioned, I actually like that you brought that point up with Alice, because one of the reasons why I like Alice as well, aside from just the general CC, is she also has the silence. And if you're going to look at the composition that Dominitus Astra has, unless they execute properly, they could find themselves in an unfavorable situation. Let's say Raz initiates into the fight and gets silenced. There's no escape from there and could get locked down by Dominitus Astra. Let's go ahead and see if they can execute
we can see here, guys, the red team is trying to get the Sage Golem of the blue side, and looks like Dominitus Astra doesn't want to actually defend their Sage Golem. They just actually focus, and actually they're exchanging Sage Golems in here, and looks like the blue side will be, they just successfully got the Sage Golem in there. That was just an exchange of jungle, but still the red side is trying to, get more of jungles from the blue side, okay?
Yes, indeed, and it looks like Slims will be jungling for Dominitus Astra. Okay, so looking at things here, putting things into perspective, looks like it's just basically, like you mentioned, a trade-off of buffs, both sides invading each other. Nothing particularly special. So looks like we'll be seeing a little bit of a slower start for both teams within the first few minutes of this game. Both sides just kind of trying to reach their optimal levels to actually start forcing objectives on this map, or even potential skirmishes. We'll just have to see. But yeah, pretty standard start here for Dominitus Astra and Nexus Esports, kind of weighing out each other for this game one.
And as you have mentioned earlier, Fennec is actually going for the jungle for the red side.
And that's going to work really well for this Fennec, because he has some pretty nifty tools, which makes him a slippery marksman as well, which actually makes me appreciate Nexus Esports' composition even more. Because if we're going to talk about these two marksmen on their side, Fennec in himself, I mean, within the earlier levels, he's definitely pretty much good to go. He's a slippery character. But meanwhile, Leather on this Joker. Joker is one of those heroes that needs a little bit more time to scale up, because he's pretty vulnerable in the earlier phases of the game. But once he has his items, boy, is he a pain in the butt for Dominitus Astra.
And we saw there, guys, Nexus Esports got the first Abyssal Dragon in there, which gave them a gold lead. Right, so it's 4.7k versus the 5.2k of Nexus Esports. Okay, Leather almost down in there, but thank you to the support of their teammates. Okay, we have here Malok near the Abyssal Dragon.
Good control here thus far from Nexus Esports. I really like the roams coming out, and as soon as Dominitus Astra tries to makes an appearance towards a lane, there comes Nexus Esports. We'll be making a slight response to make sure that if Dominitus Astra goes for a play, Nexus Esports will make sure to respond. But yeah, looks like a rotating Fennec as well as an Alice here. Looks like Vindicate as well going to be joining the fray to make for an easier clear.
And we can see Malok actually on solo lane on the bottom side of the map. And his, as Malok is actually okay, like an okay hero to do solo, because he's quite tanky.
Yeah, he's pretty tanky and deals a sufficient amount of damage as well. Could pretty much hold his own in the lane. And looks like, meanwhile,
on the top lane, we have a 1 versus 1 with Magnifico and Vindicate. Let's see who's going to go down here first. Still, they're on the clash, but Magnifico is able to escape. He actually just decided to escape.
Both sides going to be backing away for the meantime. I would say that it would probably Vindicate that came up a little bit more better in that fight.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, Vindicate almost down in here, but good escape. Nope. Oh, there's the turret. Okay. Thank you to the turret.
Yes, thanks to the turret. And of course, like I mentioned, Vindicate, he's one pretty tanky fellow on this Arthur. So
good damage as well.
Yeah,
Arthur.
He has that mobility to just kind of escape, and it's pretty much evident in what happened
earlier. And the Abyssal Dragon is now here being taken down by the red side. Let's see if Dominitus Astra will try to steal it. Nope. They are able to take it down by Nexus Esports.
Would have been a bit too dangerous, though, if Floyd decided to try to go for the steal. I mean, Sure, you could get the Abyssal Dragon, but could have cost his life as well.
Yeah. And we have here Malok almost down. Inzai plays healing. There is a support, but oh, he's still able to escape still. They're going for the fight in here. 2 from the blue side is too low already. Slim's escaping now as well as Lumber. But no, there is a kill by Nexus Esports.
Yeah, it's a double kill right there for Nexus Esports. Great comeback right there. Looks like they spot out Floydy here, but he will be able to make a clean escape. No further initiates, but that will grant the opportunity for Nexus Esports to start to take away camps from Dominitus Astra.
And it looks like the red side wants to take down the turret of the blue side here on the bottom lane. And yeah, Ormar is not able to successfully defend that. Yeah.
That's pretty worrisome for Dominitus Astra because by giving away their bottom turret so earlier on, they lose a lot of control over this Abyssal Dragon. And that's not a position you want to be in when Nexus Esports, look at the difference right now, where they're already leaning towards that 3k dual gold deficit.
And 4 here from the Nexus is trying to take down mid turret as well. Relax actually dived in, but I think that is a wrong decision. Or is that good? We have Inzai plays taking so much damage from the blue side. Kuroki solo as well, but still trying to take everyone from the blue side. But okay, still Inzai plays still alive and tanking, but apparently Leather, wasn't able to make damage or help Inzai in there.
Man, oh man, that Raz can get really pesky. I mean, if you notice, Raz was pretty much low health for most of the remainder of the fight, but because of his skill shots, because of his kit, was just able to free hit from the backline, contribute damage, and that's one of the great things about Raz right there. He has the mobility, has the skills to just free hit, as long as he lands those skill shots, of course, because if he doesn't, then he's going to start experiencing a drought because of the nature of how he doesn't necessarily run by mana, but still, things are looking pretty good. I'd say Nexus Esports definitely has a little bit more of a leg up just because they have objectives taken down 2 turrets to nothing. If you're going to compare it to Dominitus Astra, we'll just have to see though if they could continue to build up and propel themselves to a game 1 win.
And Abyssal Dragon, guys, is alive. Let's see who's going to take down Abyssal Dragon soon. But 4 players here from the blue side is actually on the bottom lane trying to take Inzai. He dived in here. Turret is almost down as well as Inzai. There's a backup coming from Leather. Let's see if they will successfully help their teammates in there. But as you can see in the middle lane, Fennec is pushing the mid lane quite successfully. Lubu trying to back up as well. Abyssal Dragon being taken out by Dominitus Astra, whose objective is more successful in here.
Yes.
Whose objective is better? Is it pushing the mid lane or taking the dragon?
Well, at this point, I think for Dominitus Astra, they should really be careful because if... Okay,
let's see, will this end soon? An 8-minute fight? I wonder.
That's something that Dominitus Astra does not want. Nexus Esports, again, it's another one of those methodical games wherein Nexus Esports, they're just slowly building up on objectives and taking fights that they can. Dominitus Astra has been doing well in responding, but probably not enough. Let's go ahead and see how the team fight though.
We have a fight ongoing here on the top lane. The red team is trying to push the mid turret. Looks like it's gonna happen soon, but only 1 remaining from the blue side. Magnifica going down and taking so much damage from the red side, and it's a wipeout. It's a wipeout. Anytime soon, they can actually dive in the base with the help of their minions. The tanking the damage of the base, and there is a focus fire, and it's actually happening.
Yes.
This is gonna end soon. Will this be a congratulations to Nexus Esports? Okay, they're backing up. They're backing up. Nope, they're not now.
Have to be a bit more careful there. It looks like death timers are already up. Floydy goes down instantly though at the cost of his life. It looks like Ormar trying to go for the defense will go down as well.
And they have to clear the minions in the mid lane, which is being done now by Lubu.
Looks like, oh no!
Oh no, okay.
Peoria
well,
goes
what is
down.
happening? Lubu is not moving. Lumber, rather.
He's like, it's like, oh man, what's going on here?
Okay, score right now is 7-15 in favor of Nexus Esports.
There you go. Look, things are looking pretty good for Nexus Esports. And
let's look at the score. As you can see here, 7-2 score by Joker in there from the red side. Definitely, he's doing his job on being the killer or the carry of the red team.
Definitely, but still, one of the trickier parts for Dominitus Astra here, they're clearly experiencing a drought. 7 turrets already down from them, and looks like Dark Slayer contention is coming.
Alright,
Whoa!
actually the Dark Slayer was being taken down by the blue team. Actually, it was a steal. It was a successful steal, but let's see here, guys. A clash is still ongoing. Alice is down. Another player is down from the blue side. 2 remaining, and only Slims is remaining here. So 1 versus 1 with Slims, and Inzai plays who's gonna win in this 1 versus 1 match. Oh, let's see. Oh, too bad that that didn't stun Inzai plays. Now actually Slims now trying to escape in here, but as you can see, the mid lane is being pushed by Nexus Esports now. Mighty Golem being taken by Slims. Now trying to kill Inside plays. A backup is coming from the blue side. Okay, Inside plays is down.
Overstate is welcome there. I mean, didn't take note of the death timers coming in from Dominitus Astra. But again, all this action happening doesn't necessarily lead to any particular success to Dominitus Astra, because it doesn't necessarily resolve the problem that they have right now as far as how much control they have over the entire battlefield. Because here we go, another Abyssal Dragon take by Nexus Esports. But if there's one thing that at least Dominitus Astra was able to get, it was that steal on the Dark Slayer. Because if Nexus Esports got that objective, it would have pretty much been game over.
Right. Now actually the base has regenerated some health already on Dominitus Astra's side, but we can see here 4 players from Nexus Esports trying to push the bottom lane already. I think they will be successful in here. A stun coming in from Slims, and still here Kuraki being defeated by Magnifico right over there. More players going down from the red side. Okay, Alice is back alive. Regain some health. Still trying to escape. Let's see what's going to happen in this clash. Leather dead. Okay, you know what can you say about this clash?
Pretty much prolonged. It's cat and mouse chase.
Right.
But still, at the end of the day, with Dominitus Astra exerting all the resources that they have, I mean, they continued to chase. They tried to chase, but the CC, eventually their tools just got worn out, and Nexus Esports with the counter engage,
this
absolutely
is
great.
Definitely going to be hard for Dominitus Astra, because you know only 1 turret remaining for them. Now Nexus Esports is already on the base. They actually just focus firing on the base, and they want to end it soon. But I think that was like a greedy attempt to end the game soon, because you know they sacrificed their lives in there just to an attempt to finish the game as early as possible.
So there you have it, guys, 16-22, but still looks like
and
Nexus Esports not able to finish the game yet.
And actually, the gold is actually getting near.
Yeah, pretty much.
32k gold for Dominitus Astra and 36k gold for Nexus Esports.
This is just so tricky right now. I mean, Nexus Esports, they're clearly struggling with trying to finish the game here. And I think, ultimately, after that Dark Slayer mishap, it just pretty much went rather awkward, I'd say, because every attempt that Nexus Esports tries to go for whenever they want to try to finish the game immediately gets thwarted by Dominitus Astra here. And I think it's because Dominitus Astra, they were able to come to a point wherein they were able to go equal as far as itemization and withstands most of the damage that comes in from Nexus Esports. And like I mentioned, Nexus Esports, they have a great front line, but it looks like we have a fight here.
We have a fight ongoing here, but as you can see, guys, on the top lane, Arthur is trying to be sneaky in there, but luckily Lubu was able to see that, trying to defend the base right now. It's going to be interesting if Lubu will be able to successfully defend the base, but we can see, guys, there is actually an exchange of kills in the clashes. You know, still Nexus Esports still having a hard time trying to push.
Indeed, but still 2 for 3 in favor of Nexus Esports right there. Let's go ahead and see, are they going to try to finish the game? Heavy death timers coming in from Palau as well as Viario. We'll just have to see if Nexus can go for the finish, though, because Magnifico and Floyd, 2 heavy damage dealers from Dominitus Astra, still very much up and running, could easily thwart any waves pushing in onto their base. Let's go ahead and see if they could salvage this last
And
turret,
anytime soon, looks like the bottom turret of the blue side is going to go down, but Nexus Esports decided to go back. Let's see what are they planning to do. Vindicate still trying to clear the top lane, and there we go, Fennec backed up by Alice.
I gotta give my
Playing down the bottom
commendations.
lane.
Yeah, I gotta give my commendations to Nexus Esports though, because baka iniisip ng mga viewers natin na ba't di pa tapusin ng Nexus Esports. If you're gonna think about it, they don't want to overextend their boundaries too much. Kasi gaya nga ng sabi ko, Dominitus Astra, they're at a position wherein because of how long this game went, medyo na-void out yung lead ng Nexus Esports. The only thing working for them is the waves pushing in. Pero as far as damage, as far as team fights, almost equal na sila. So Nexus Esports, they're just trying to be methodical by whenever they're not clashing, gonna try to clear out camps, make sure hindi nagkakaroon ng opportunity yung Dominitus Astra na makipagsabayan. Because if you're gonna look at the levels here, Powwow, Relax, they're still looking to reach that level 15 point that Nexus Esports is across the board. So that's something that they want to try to build up on.
Okay, right now, actually, it's Nexus Esports that has the control over the map. But I think something is wrong in here. There is a clash ongoing. Will the blue side be able to take down Nexus Esports in here? But actually, 2 remaining for Dominitus Astra. And it looks like this is going to end soon with Slims remaining in here, and looks like this is going to be the end soon. A focus fire on the base by Nexus Esports, and GG, well played. Congratulations to Nexus Esports for winning round 1 on this best of 3 match for the quarterfinals.
Yes, indeed. Very well played. Even though that game went on a little bit longer than I would have preferred. But still, at the end of the day, it all comes down to result.
Okay, and we can see a lot of assists here by Peace Boy. Definitely kudos. You deserve the MVP, and the MVP for the blue side is Raz.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to think about who has pretty much been that enabler for Nexus Esports to thrive across this map, Peace Boy, he was pretty much with everyone throughout the roams here.
Right.
And overall, just really worked out here. I like the utilization of Alice's kit throughout the game, and ultimately propelled them to win.
And Alice is always supporting, like, on the side of Fennec.
Yes.
Making sure that Fennec will not die anytime soon.
But then again, ladies and gents, that's only game 1.
That's just game 1. This is a best of 3 match. We're gonna go for the round 2 in a few seconds from now. You're currently live here, guys, on MeSA Official on Twitch. Don't forget to like our Facebook page and YouTube channel as well, MeSA Official. Once again, I'm Kaisaya.
It's Arctic.
Yeah, don't forget to follow us on Twitch, on Facebook, and YouTube channel as well. So my Facebook page and my YouTube channel is Kaisaya, and my Twitch is Kaisaya PH. How about you?
Of course, you guys wanted to check me out. Be sure to follow my updates on Facebook. That's facebook.com/ArcticTheory. And if you want to check me out on Twitch as well, whether it be esports or potentially peeing my pants during horror games, check me out at twitch.tv/ArcticTheory.
Right. Okay. Let's see what's going to happen on round 2. What do you think should Dominitus Astra do on the what actually went wrong?
Well, I think
on round 2.
Ultimately, it came down to Nexus Esports just dictating the flow within the earlier phases of the game. They were so proactive and were able to take down a lot of turrets right away that, I mean, Dominitus Astra, I think very clear naman na going into the later parts of the game, so long as equal footing sila in terms of items, they'd be able to go head-to-head. But the problem is, since sobrang proactive of Nexus Esports during the earlier phases of the game, it came down to a point where nahirapan ni Dominitus Astra na ma-reach yung optimal spike na narating ng Nexus Esports in terms of level, in terms of gold, in terms of utilization. And because of having lost so many turrets, medyo nawala rin yung control ng blue side sa map.
Well, anyway, let's see, guys, on round 2 if Dominitus Astra will be able to fight for their name, fight for their team name,
fight for their life.
Yeah, don't forget, guys, okay, MeSA Official, like our Facebook page and YouTube channel as well.
And of course, if you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to drop a follow as well for more mobile esports, because MeSA covers a lot, and with 2018 coming in, definitely a great year for esports. More to come, without a doubt. But let's go ahead and check out what has transpired here so far. Here as we have the schedule, and with this playoffs, take note, guys, it is a single elimination. We are currently looking at our what times you could expect all these games to be played up. Semifinals will be played at 4 p.m. while the finals will be at 5 p.m. But of course, dependent sa magiging flow ng mga laban natin. Kasi you'll never know. We've been seeing a lot of these big games like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, but malay mo, biglang magkaroon ng long
7
game na...
minutes.
7 minutes.
Or 7
Potentially.
30 minutes game.
It happens sometimes. Lalo pag masyadong dikit yung laban.
Yeah, especially like if we're going to watch the matches of the winners from the quarterfinals, of course it's going to be like an interesting, more interesting match because of course yung mga winners na yung naglalaban mas magagaling na, like especially if both of the teams are going for like they have the same strategy. The question is, whose strategy is better?
Exactly, and
how are they gonna respond on the other side's strategy?
Pero if you're gonna think about it, Messiah, sometimes if you're gonna look at the draft, you see that, wow, this draft looks really good on paper. Pero suddenly when they head into Antares battlefield, doon na nagkakaroon ng problems because even with a great strategy, if they can execute, useless.
And of course, during the draft picking, of course, the players has to decide like how to counter pick the pickings of the other side, right?
And I think so far we've seen that in our past games. Talagang, I like how our teams within the limited months that we've had Arena, Valor in the Philippines, they're clearly quite knowledgeable. Really know how to play out the Pigin Band. They know what strategies to go for. They know how to play to their win conditions based on their team composition. So I have a lot of hope, and who knows, maybe next year we might actually be a great representative to represent the Philippines in the next international championship.
But so far in this tournament, which hero do you think is getting picked the most? Like I've seen Alice appears to be always there, Malok as well, you know, Chognar. Usually those with CCs, with crowd controls.
I think you could have, because if you're going to think about it, you could have all the damage in the world, but if you don't have the heroes to help enable you, to set that up for you, to establish those skills, then it's pretty much moot. And for most of our players here for Arena Valor, it does work in the lower ranks. Where once you reach a higher level of competitive play, it has to come full circle. It can't be just damage alone. Kasi, ewan ko lang kung na-experience mo, like, if you're gonna play when you're in gold, you're in silver, yung mga butterfly na nagsisnowball out of control. It's not really the same trend when you're in the higher ranks. It's really a collaborative effort. You can't just have the assassins. You need to have those enablers to help you reach your spikes.
Yeah, even sometimes, you know, there were tournaments wherein, you know, marksman wasn't even needed.
Yeah, true.
Right? Like, they're going for full crowd control. Like, every hero on your team has a crowd control to disable the enemy team.
And I think with the marksman, if you're gonna notice most of the picks here, we have Fennec, we have Violet, we have the Joker. The Joker, he's a little bit more immobile. Pero Violet and Fennec, these are marksmen. Because every like of marksman, maisip mo yung vulnerability nila pag na-assassinate sila.
More damager.
Exactly. Pero when you have heroes like Fennec, like Slims, like Violet, sila yung they have the damage. They also have that mobility. Na di naman yung super mobile, pero just enough to
escape from
or
crowd
maybe
control,
regroup with teammates para may help you.
Yeah, alright. So that's it. What's your main hero here? I'm just curious. Main hero in AOV. Let's talk about that.
Siyempre sa mga nasa Twitch chat din, let us know what you guys like playing. For me, to be honest, I've climbed my rank by playing this Ormar. I like the flexibility that Ormar has. You could build him AD, you could build him a bit more tankier if you want to complement him more. May ano kasing flexibility na kung kailangan kong buhat.
How do you know if you have to make buhat?
You know, pag medyo 0-4 Joker, may butterfly na
adjust
nagbida.
The gears.
Yeah, you know, okay,
the
looks like
of the game.
I'll have to save the day, but it's hindi rin buhat. So. How about
Solo
you,
gaming. Me, my first main was Illumia. And recently I've been using Alice. Yeah, pretty useful, very useful in crowd control and, you know, making sure your marksman, your damager, and your team will, stay alive
And
and be able to escape.
Look at Lumia, ang ganda ng bagong labas ng skin.
Yeah.
Were you able to get it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I'm
got
so
it. Definitely,
jealous.
magtatampo yung main ko if
That's
I
true,
didn't
that's
get
true.
that.
I mean,
Just in time for Christmas.
Yeah, that's
Happy
true.
holidays to you guys.
Yes. Kami gift yan.
Add us, then gift us.
Yeah, vouchers.
Vouchers.
But still.
May gifting na, guys. There's a
That's
gifting
true.
from the latest update of Arena of Valor. There's already a gifting system, so you can, if you have a lot of vouchers, you can gift your friends. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
exchange gifts ng heroes.
tapos yun pala yung ibibigay mo yung mga tipo like yung Templar, yung Valheim na sobrang mahal. Tapos yung ka-exchange mo ibibigay sa'yo bigla yun.
Dapat may isa-set kang
Yeah, may minimum.
May minimum. May minimum. Then it's up to your friend if they wanna send you the more expensive one, right? But yeah, speaking of main, so kasi yung Arcana ko like it's more on mage support. How about your building tank?
Medyo balanced because what I use for to make sure that you get the CC. Because yun yung bread and butter ni Ormar basically. Go in, you have the
Ormar
CC.
main, yeah, Ormar
main.
main.
Pabuhat po.
Pabuhat po. Okay. So, let's see what's again. We're waiting for the round 2 for the match between Dominitus, Astra, and Nexus Esports. Earlier, we saw that it was Nexus Esports that already won round 1, but we still have round 2 and round 3, guys. So don't lose hope if you're vouching for Dominitus, Astra. May pag-asa pa. May pag-asa pa.
Result tayo dyan mga kaibigan. Praise! Raise your hand over your screen.
Again, guys, don't forget if you're watching on Twitch, make sure you follow MeSA official so that you will be notified or alerted about like if they go live for other games like
Vainglory, if I'm not mistaken, they also do Hearthstone. Daming games na nagpa-pop up ngayon sa mobile. And it's nice kasi at least yung tipong
mobile games, even if you're just already about to sleep, you can still play one game. But don't sleep while you're at match. It happened to me. No, it didn't happen to me once. So parang ayaw i-admitin. No. It happened to me. I experienced it once with my friend. Like, why are you not moving? Nakatulog na pala.
Imagine kung may voice chat pa man.
Yeah, kasi when playing mobile games, like, even if you're just seated or like nakahiga ka in a comfortable position, you can play the game eh. So I think yun yung advantage na mobile games.
Yung tipong nasa gaming chair ka,
or guys, not like, hindi lang naman sa bahay, even kahit di ba, nasa pila kayo kung naghihintay kayo sa pila ng LRT. Basta play one game.
Haba pa naman din ang pila sa ayun, no?
Parang speaking of based on personal experience. But no, that's true actually.
Ano ba? Ikaw ba, na-encounter mo ba yung pila na yun?
Actually, yes. Inamin na.
Ako nag-bus na lang ako kasi nakita ko yung pila like, at least nakaupo lang ako sa bus.
Actually, even if you're commuting, tapos naboboard ka sa commute mo. Lalo na ngayon, it's traffic. It's because of Christmas. Sinisi yung Christmas.
Sinisi yung Christmas?
I don't want to say any other comments about like government.
Pero, syempre, ingatan niyo pa rin yung dapat. Alam niyo mas-snatch kayo habang
Well, again, guys, you're currently watching Mobile Esports Arena's Arena of Valor First Blood Tournament. This is their first ever tournament for the game Arena of Valor. Naku, sino kayo magiging champion dito? Kundi kayo part kayo ng history agad yan. Actually, even just the participants, you'll be part of the history already. Maka-join lang kayo dito sa event na to, right? Okay, we're ongoing right now is the quarterfinals. And it looks like we're gonna go for the second round for the match between Nexus Esports and Dominitus Astra. On the left side, we can see Nexus Esports in there, blue side, and on the right side is Dominitus Astra. Okay, we have here a Slims ban. Why do you think they banned Slims?
Well, if you're gonna remember earlier during Game 1, I mean, everybody across Dominitus Astra was struggling, but if there's one hero that had a little bit of a better time than everyone else, I'd say it's Slims, because earlier we saw the Malok chasing down the Slims, a lot of kiting potential, and just enough time for everybody to respond. So, and then you have that insane skill shot that has a stun. So, I like that preemptive measure. And gaya nga nang nakita rin natin nung first matchup, yung Slims na nagsa-split push, that's another thing you could pull off. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and check out the picks here, though. Oh, Natalia.
We can see a Raz ban as well from... Siguro na inis sila kay Raz. Like, they don't wanna... Okay, Natalia, actually, sobrang sakit niyan.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. But
if she was able to, like, free hit.
Yeah, free hit and be in a position wherein she could just throw skills without anybody getting to her. Pero mukhang mahirap yan ngayon kay Saya because we see a Malok being locked in. So, pag nag-initiate yan sa Natalia, naku, mahirap yan. Meanwhile, looks like Chognar as well, by the way, of course, for Nexus Esports.
And they actually, so far, you know what, some matches, nakita ko talagang pinaprioritize ng teams yung dalawang tank agad na pick. Usually, magkasama tong Malok and Chognar as their tank picks. Okay, now we see again an Alice on the side of Nexus Esports.
Oh man, finally, this is what I've been waiting for. Dominitus Astra gonna be running the Nacroth. So that's a pretty juicy assassin, probably one of the heavier used heroes in the international scene as well, if ever you need alternative options to our usual assassins. Meanwhile, wow, Zephys as well going to be locked in for Nexus Esports. Very interesting picks from both sides. Tara, there you go.
Yeah.
And
first time I'm going to see Tara in this tournament, actually.
Not to mention, not just the Tara, but look at the talents here across the board for Dominitus Astra. So you do have that triple advantage in the jungle. So if anything, I'm expecting Dominitus Astra to play a little bit more towards objectives, potential early Abyssal Dragon. We'll just have to see.
Yes. Okay, for the lineup of Team Nexus Esports, we can see here Chognar, Violet, Alice, Zephys, and Malok.
And
what do we have there?
On the red side, we have Floydy. Wait, I read the players for some reason. Okay, so we have Natalia, Fennec, Tara, Nacroth, and Arthur.
All right. Okay, looking at the lineup, what do you think you like better?
Let's go ahead and break it down here with the composition. So for Nexus Esports, so it's gonna be a Violet jungle. So I think it's a little bit more balanced. They have a little bit of everything for Nexus Esports. They have
I guess it will just depend now on the rotation and the execution of
pretty much. They have an answer to everything, I think. It's just that it's equal on all grounds. Meanwhile, for Dominitus Astra, a lot of I like the beefy front line with the Arthur and the Tara, so that they could enable the Natalia. But we'll just have to see. Nexus Esports again
was able to steal the jungle of Dominitus Astra right over there.
And looks like, take note where the Tara is right now.
It looks like Tara is going for the jungle of the blue side as well. And the blue team, not actually minding that if someone from the red team is trying to steal that buff.
Indeed.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Nexus Esports, they want to make sure that they have better control over this bottom side. Because Dominitus Astra, that Abyssal Dragon is going to go down to them so quick because of the triple talent in the jungle. So overall, we'll just have to see how that ultimately goes down for that team, though. I mean, they were already denied a few camps here and there, so that will slow down the Nacroth a little bit. Not totally, though, but just a few camps here and there in comparison to his counterpart, which is the Violet.
And as you can see here, again, same as what happened in round 1, is actually Malok on Nexus Esports side, actually doing a solo lane here on the bottom side. Okay, mid lane. We have Natalia in a dangerous position right now. Inzai plays trying to take Natalia down, but they weren't successful.
Yes, forced to flicker his way out of there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
a fight is ongoing here on the top lane as well. Actually, you know what? I think Yeah, red team is actually trying to, as you mentioned, trying to get the jungle as fast as possible. But I think Nexus Esports is, is just successful in trying to steal the jungle steal.
Meanwhile, looking at Dominitus Astra here, I was talking about how they have a great front line in terms of Arthur and the Tara, but I don't feel like it's enough of a precaution to make sure that they could save Natalia, because that Natalia is very squishy, but of course to make up for that squishiness, deals tons of damage if left untouched from the backline, where she just pretty much throws skills. I mean, Arcane Spirit, Arcane Nova, and Lethal Rays, all very powerful tools which could deter Nexus Esports. And if you look at Nexus Esports, they have a number of squishies as well that could easily be taken down by the pure ability power that Natalia has. But I mean, it's a little bit more trickier to execute as well, because I feel like with they have a tanky front line. I don't feel like they have enough CC though to make sure that they have that protection, not only for Natalia, even for Nakaroth when he goes into the fights.
Yeah, okay, we have here, guys, on the bottom lane, a fight ongoing in here. Two from the players from Dominitus Astra already low. That was the first blood by Inzai Place. Still, a fight is ongoing. Magnifico was able to escape. There's a damage from Floydy right over there. Actually, basically, I think both of these teams just trying to, contest the dragon area.
Looking pretty good. Equal 1-1 so far. Going back and forth. Wow.
That's a defeat.
Okay, that's one thing that Nexus Esports has to look out for. I mean, I've been talking about how vulnerable the Natalia is, but if Dominitus Astra is able to establish an early lead, that wouldn't even matter, because before Nexus Esports can even do anything, before they could even collapse onto Natalia, they'd have to deal with all the damage coming in from the Nakaroth as well as the Fennec. So it goes both ways here for both sides. Whoever is able to establish a more solid lead most likely will dictate the flow of this game.
Actually, both of the teams, they're actually watching and, trying to contest still the dragon area. But we have here, guys, 3 players from the blue side. On the middle lane, maybe they're wanting to push that or still contest the dragon area. On the bottom lane, we can see Okay, we can see here, Nexus already starting to take down the Abyssal Dragon. Now Kuraki assisting them to get it as early as possible. Now they got the Abyssal Dragon.
Yeah, it's a good play right there. Able to establish that objective. And like I was saying earlier, if there's somebody that should be much more prominent in taking this Abyssal Dragon, it should be Dominitus Astra, because they have the triple talent for jungle. So if anything, they should be on top of that to even allow Nexus Esports to take it.
Able to utilize their talents right now.
Exactly. And that's going to deter them in the later parts of the game. If there's one person who was able to use his talent constantly in a more effective manner on Dominitus Astra, it would be the Natalia. If you know,
and here, a 1 versus 1 is ongoing between Vindicate and Relax. Vindicate was able to escape, apparently.
Yes, no further aggression thus far. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting because Floydy, he's been pretty much on point with the flickers to make sure that he survives, but oh no.
No, that is another key. But you know what, both the scores, and actually the gold is almost equal.
Yeah, pretty much equal between both sides. I mean, if you're going to look at the kills, but looks like if Nexus Esports is able to take down this first turret of the game, especially the mid turret, pretty much opens up the map for them.
And look at the split push happening on the top and the bottom lane right now for the Dominitus Astra. It looks like they want to make a comeback in here on this round 2.
And if you're going to think about it, a lot more value taken for Dominitus Astra. 2 turrets versus 1. I mean, definitely a better way to go. And gives them a little bit more of a spread as far as control towards both Abyssal Dragon and eventually Darkslayer once it's up. Oh wait, actually it is up now. And Spirit Sentinel. Meanwhile, looking here at this bot lane, Violet and Malak making a shove out here, establishing good control.
4 players from Nexus Esports going for the bottom lane. Looks like they want to push this as much as possible. Kuraki actually went in with Pau being defeated by Leather right over there.
Yes.
But we can see, guys, at the same time, one player from the Nexus Esports has actually pushed the creeps in there, the minions in there, and Relax is actually pushing top lane as well. Abyssal Dragon being taken down by the blue side, while actually Natalia was trying to steal the Abyssal Dragon, but was not successful.
Man, that was crazy what happened towards bot lane. Puel, needing to sacrifice himself to make sure that Viorio on this Finnick was able to make a clean escape. But then again, and at the same time though, even though they did suffer a casualty, they were able to defend their turret amidst though losing an Abyssal Dragon.
Right, okay, we see here Magnifico trying to escape Leather. Relax is in here trying to hide. Okay, 3 or rather 4 from Nexus Esports here on the top lane. Are they gonna plan to take actually it's too early to take the DS right now.
Man, oh man, this is looking pretty interesting. Both sides. This is a very equal, close game that we're seeing here between Nexus Esports and Dominitus Astra.
And here, Relax having a 1 versus 2. We will Leather and Vindicate now. They just, you know what? If you're going to have a 1v1 or 2 versus 1 with Winnie Tank, you just won't bother because anyway, they are Tara is actually quite tanky.
Not just
hard
tanky,
to kill.
but
you're gonna waste time if you focus on trying to kill Tara.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, Relax just whenever just casually backs away. He does have that mobility.
But we have here a backup coming from Peace Boy, and inside place looks like Relax is not going to relax anytime soon. Now Relax is dead. That's a kill by Vindicate right over there, and the pressure coming in on the bottom lane from the Dominitus Astra. Kuroki is so slow. Power actually dived in Leather with a backup slow.
Man.
And as you can see on the top lane, Nexus Esports is actually pushing still in here. Vindicate on the top turret of the Dominitus Astra. At the same time, Inzai plays just taking down the mid turret from the from Dominitus Astra.
Man, that was crazy right there. Nexus Esports getting a lot of value with all said and done, taking a lot of turrets, not to mention if you're going to look at things right now, still gold isn't really as significant. But one thing I would like to highlight earlier is how they played out that 3-man gank onto that Tara there. If there's one key player that shined, it was definitely the Alice. Able to use the Hissy Fit to zone away that Tara from retreating under turret. And a great follow-up as well by using the Sunshine to make sure that they get the lockdown through that CC. So very well played, Nexus Esports.
Score right now is 5-3 in favor of Nexus Esports. Well, you know what? Actually, with the current level of all the players here on Nexus Esports, anytime soon, you know, the Dragon Slayer is available, or no players from the Dominitus Astra is within the range of the Dragon Slayer, Nexus Esports can actually take down the Dragon Slayer anytime soon. And Relax here again, trying to escape from Vindicate from the top lane. But we have here 4 players from the Dominitus Astra wanting to push the mid lane of Nexus Esports. And there we go. They have successfully taken down the turret of Nexus.
Yes.
And still here, a fight is ongoing. It's a 5 versus 5 right now here near the Dark Slayer area. Viora down. There's a kill by Vindicate. Still a lot of CC and damage coming in from the bot side of the teams. Okay, one remaining from Nexus Esports. Is this going to be a comeback? 2 remaining guys from the Dominitus Astra. Still Kuroki trying to take all the damage, and yeah, a wipe out by Dominitus Astra. And it looks like Dominitus Astra is going for the mid push in here.
Not to mention that will be the ace. That was crazy for Dominitus Astra right there. Nexus Esports weren't able to set their priorities straight into that fight, and as a result, Dominitus Astra getting the full damage that their composition can exert. I mean, Nexus Esports, they have a pretty straightforward goal here, and it's to just take out those prime targets, such as the Natalia, such as the Fennec, and to a point, such as the Nakroth. But if they're not able to deal with those elements right away, these 3 heroes, they're just gonna dish out damage like crazy. And Nexus Esports, they just got cleaned out right there.
And both of the teams, guys, they're currently here near the Dark Slayer area, wanting to, you know, contest.
Yes. Still very close fight. Still that we're
close
having.
Close fight. 8-8 score. And the gold lead is not actually quite big. But we have here Dominitus Astra now leading in terms of gold.
Man, oh man, Nexus Esports, they need to find their bearing in this game. They're starting to show signs of weakness as far as their composition. Because as far as pickoffs, they have that potential. But in the full 5v5s, if they can't execute correctly, if their positioning is way off, if they couldn't get the key targets, then that's where they heavily falter. We're in Dominitus Astra. And that's the tricky part. Like I mentioned, Nexus Esports, they have a very well-rounded composition. They're the master of everything, but not exactly, they don't exactly excel at something in particular. But looks like we have a fight here, though.
A fight here, guys. As you can see, Dominitus Astra actually wanting to kill Inzai the marksman of the blue side, and Inzai currently trying to, now he's at, Peace Boy was actually trying to, save Inzai but apparently the support wasn't enough. We can see here 2 remaining, 2 alive for Nexus Esports now. Anytime soon, Dominitus Astra is actually already starting to take down the Dark Slayer. Let's see if Peace Boy will be able to steal this Dark Slayer. Okay, apparently no. We see here Alice, just taken down by the red side. Now it's Malok that is remaining.
Yeah, I don't think Peace Boy shouldn't have stayed right there, because it's almost virtually impossible to steal to that Dark Slayer. Sure, she does have skills to try to disrupt and then go for the steal, but then again, the minute Astra,
the chances,
they're not that, how do I put it? They're not that oblivious to just laser focusing on Dark Slayer whilst a Alice kind of lingering by. Of course, they could just focus collapse on him because they have the numbers advantage. And Alice by herself, she's just has the CC to try to escape. But then again, when you're dealing with all 5 members of Dominitus Astra chasing you down, then you're pretty much a dead kid right there.
Yeah, and Floydy, Natalia on the red side is actually, ang sakit na. Ang sakit na ng skills niya.
Masakit, Beshi.
Masakit, Beshi. Ay, Beshi. Okay, let's see here, guys. We can see on the bottom lane, Malok is actually clearing the lane in there. And I wonder if a clash will happen here anytime soon. If so, I think Malok has to join the clash. Okay, we have here Dominitus Astra backing up and clearing the lane. Still, we can see Nexus Esports, Kuroki, still trying to push bottom lane and on the top lane as well. Actually, they're doing, the split pushing.
Indeed, looks like they're starting to balance things out.
Yeah.
I mean, starting to roam across the map. They have to be careful because across the board, Nexus Esports, they're starting to pressure all lanes. And they're forcing Dominitus Astra into a position wherein they have to split and deal with all the pressure coming off across the board throughout the lanes. Because the tricky part here is that, sure, Dominitus Astra is able to, they're able to start to establish a bigger lead than Nexus Esports. But what makes it not really as solid as it can be is that they haven't gotten those key base turrets, which allows heavy empowered minion waves to push in onto their base. And I think overall it's still pretty much anybody's game until such time either team is able to take down the base turrets.
Yeah, and I think if Nexus Esports want to win the clashes, I think they have to go first. They'll have to go for Natalia first. Because, Natalia has a slow. And if you're being slowed, you can actually die from her skills. Sobrang sakit niyang si Natalia. Okay, let's see if a fight will happen here in mid lane. Nope. Leather and Peace Boy backing out.
I think overall, where Nexus Esports is struggling with is that they don't really have a solid assassin on their side. I mean, Zephyton himself, he's primarily a warrior. And he doesn't really have that solid mobility in comparison to other assassins that could try to get in onto the Natalia. And I think that's where Nexus Esports is struggling right now. They're not able to get those key targets from the backline. And
okay, let's see here, guys. Relax, being ganked by the blue side. Okay, looks like he's going to die soon. Okay, you see that. Expected. 4 versus 1. What will you expect?
I mean, can't really relax there.
Yeah,
No
can't really relax. Relax is not relaxed right now. Okay, let's see here. A clash is still, again, happening here in the middle lane. Let's see who's going to go down next. 1 remaining. Oh, 2. Actually, 2 remaining for the blue side. Yep, Viorio trying to escape. And now, nice lifesteal right over there for Viorio.
Oh, Inzai plays. He has to be careful. Might want to back away for the meantime. And that's the struggle that Nexus Esports has right there because their composition is so well-rounded. Once they lose out on a key element, then I think it just crumbles from there, which is why I think it's a bit trickier when you have a composition wherein you have to play it by the T. You want all gears to be, it's kind of like a well-oiled machine, wherein each gear has its place to make sure that that machine functions perfectly. Lose out on that one gear, it ultimately crumbles.
And looks like in this match, we're just waiting for the Dark Slayer to go up once again. And I think whoever gets the next Dark Slayer will be able to, you know, successfully push the lane or take down the base of their opposing team.
Well, let's go ahead and see what's happening here. I mean, it's pretty balanced because even if Dominitus Astra wins a fight, unless they could actually get a full-on ace with a wave shoving in to the base of Nexus Esports, then they're pretty. It's just gonna be the same thing wherein things are balanced here. Kasi kung mapapansin mo, whenever Dominitus Astra actually wins a clash wherein the numbers work in their advantage, even if they want to try to shove, the fact of the matter is Nexus Esports is doing a great job in prolonging this game by making sure all the waves across the lanes are pushed in. Look at this. Even without super minion waves pushing in across the lanes, you notice that Nexus Esports has all the waves pushing into Dominitus Astra.
Okay, let's see here. Both of the teams just, you know, trying to get sundot some skills.
Yes,
like,
making hokey
They're just poking each other in here.
And
Like nakikiramdam pa lang sila. Okay, 30 seconds from now, the Dark Slayer is gonna go up. It looks like Violet is members of the Nexus Esport is going for the Dark Slayer anytime soon. Like they're trying to contest the area right now.
Looks like they're starting to establish control over this Dark Slayer because I feel like whoever gets this buff, we could potentially see a heavier sway in a team's favor and maybe just maybe a turret take finally, base turrets.
Okay, we have here now Dominitus Astra not wanting to give the control over the Dark Slayer area in here. Everyone is in here. The Dark Slayer, Relax once again dived in the middle trying to get in Zai place with Powwow trying to back him up. Damage coming in, damage backup coming in from Magnifico and Vioria as well. Now we can see here a kill by Dominitus Astra.
This is such a struggle right here for Nexus Esports. They've ultimately gotten outskilled by Dominitus Astra and they're just kind of restrained to basically the game plan for Nexus Esports throughout the entire game was try to pressure Dominitus Astra into a position wherein they'd have to separate to deal with lanes pushing in. But oh no!
And now they're trying to get Kuroki in here. Vindicate trying to get Floydy as well. Natalia from Dominitus Astra. Okay, we have a kill here by Peace Boy. Nice crowd control and backup by Alice right over there. But as you can see, Natalia actually did the damage for Dominitus Astra right over there.
And it's
anytime soon they start the Dark Slayer. But once again here, I saw this earlier. Peace Boy wanting to steal the Dark Slayer. Let's see if he'll be successful. Apparently no. Now the Dominitus Astra has the Dark Slayer buff in here. Viorio trying to escape. Peace Boy is in there. Now Peace Boy, you have to back up. You're in crowd control.
Yeah, kind of needs to take it a little bit more easier though. He doesn't really have the damage to complement that. I mean, he's with a Chognar. Chognar's basically a support tank. Does a sizable amount of damage, but not exactly the same boom boom power that a Violet has, or a Zephys for that matter.
And the Abyssal Dragon is also up right now, and it looks like Nexus Esports is gonna get it. But let's see, Dominitus Astra is so near the Abyssal Dragon right now. Let's see if Tara will be able to steal this one. Nope, they didn't attempt to. They just gave it to Nexus Esports.
Yeah, they're just going to have to give it up for the meantime. But overall, this does give a little bit more room for Nexus Esports to try to sway things around. I mean, I've been talking about how the scaling is looking pretty good for Dominitus Astra, but with how Nexus Esports has been playing this methodically, they have all the room to kind of sway things around. They just need to look for that perfect fight wherein all 5 gears of their team works towards that well-oiled machine to just propelling things to a victory.
Okay, let's see here, guys. It looks like a clash is gonna happen here soon. You know what? Nexus Esports needs to make sure that Natalia will not be able to free skill anyone in here. Okay, now Dominitus Astra actually backed out and tried to clear the top lane instead. They're just playing safe. They don't want to like
no,
be the one to start the engagement. Kuroki here in a dangerous position. Oh, Natalia is doing so much damage right now. You know what? What's wrong in here is that, yeah, as you've mentioned earlier, Nexus Esports doesn't really have an assassin to, you know, kill the back-lane of Dominitus Astra. So I think this is the point where Nexus Esports is having a hard time for the lineup of Dominitus Astra.
And oh no, this might finally be it.
Okay, a lot of damage coming in from the carries of Dominitus Astra, Floydy, and Viorio free hitting everyone on Nexus Esports. Now the mid turret of the Nexus Esports is already down.
Finally.
Powwow trying to escape, and there's the slow from Floydy.
Take note, ladies and gents, we're already 22 minutes into the game, 45 seconds, and it's insane. I mean, we've been waiting for this moment where Dominitus Astra could take down one of those base turrets leading to the Nexus, just so that they'd have a little bit more room to maneuver. And that's a lot of pressure that Nexus Esports has to deal with. Doesn't seem as big, but then again, with this game being so prolonged, it's pretty much a scenario wherein they want to take every advantage that they can with everything, just kind of playing back and forth between both sides. But
yeah, and Nexus Esports pushing top and mid lane. Let's see here if they will be able to, you know, win the clash. Looks like an upcoming clash is going in here soon.
Like all 5 members of Nexus Esports.
I think this is going to be hard for Nexus Esports, especially they're the one going for the base of Dominitus Astra, while Dominitus Astra has a really, you know, high damagers, Floydy and Viorio on the back lane.
Dominitus Astra, they don't want to give this mid turret because if Nexus Esports is able to get that, it just balances this back right out. It just pretty much balances things once again. And overall, it's just gonna be a game of ping pong until such time we actually see a big ace wherein either team could finish the game. Because we're at a point wherein if a team just gets full flushed off, those death timers are gonna be too heavy for them to actually get back to defend base.
Right, and it looks like we're gonna have a third Dark Slayer in here. Take note, third. Third, okay. So still, I think the map control right now is on the side of Nexus Esports. Nexus Esports actually stealing jungles of Dominitus Astra.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna look at the scaling of Dominitus Astra, like I mentioned, they're doing pretty well in this late game, but the problem here is that Nexus Esports, they're playing this game so methodically that it's pretty much a very prolonged game that Dominitus Astra should not have allowed to happen because of where they're already at right now, because of the advantage that they have with the composition. But again, the macro play just works really well for Nexus Esports.
Okay, we have Relax here dived in. Okay, is there going to be a clash soon? Okay, wasted skill there by Floydy apparently. And we can see here, guys, the dragon is up once again. And let's see if Violet is going to take that up. But here, Malak is actually still clearing the... You know, Nexus Esports wants to gain control of the map.
Yeah, and...
Until they are able to finish the game.
And I think it's a scenario where in Dominitus Astra, they're allowing Nexus Esports to establish control. Because they have all the means to try to pull the trigger, but... There's a lot of hesitation from what I've been seeing, which is why this game has gone in for so long. I mean, if there was a lot more of a definitive call from Dominitus Astra, this probably would have been done by, like, what, 20 minutes into the game? But we've went way into the 25 minutes because of the hesitation.
Okay, we have a fight ongoing in here, guys. But as you can see, while that fight is ongoing, two from Nexus Esports actually pushing top and bottom lane, while alone here, guys, Floydy, Natalia defending the base of Dominitus Astra.
Is this gonna be...
I wonder if this is going to be enough, or it's actually like an extent. I know this is quite tricky to guess who's gonna win, but it looks like Dominitus Astra is gonna take this. But no, Vioria is all alone. There's a double kill. Magnifico is back alive. Relax trying to escape. Magnifico trying to escape as well. And there's a triple kill by Violet in there. Apparently, as you can see, Natalia was able to defend the base all alone.
And this could be the game. Nexus Esports. Those are very heavy death timers.
Is this going to be a 2-0 soon? Now focus firing on the base of Dominitus Astra anytime soon. This game will end. Okay, no one else to defend the base.
Nope, not at all.
GG, well played. Congratulations to Nexus Esports for winning the best of 3 match on the quarterfinals.
Very well played.
Well played.
Indeed, Nexus Esports going to be proceeding to the semifinals round right there. And I gotta say, let's go ahead and check out the statistics here though. Leather, MVP for inside of Nexus Esports on this Chognar. Wow. For
it was
the other team.
Actually, Inzai Place has good supports here. Given that they have, she has Peace Boy, Alice, and Chognar. So you saw in the game. You saw in the game that Peace Boy and Leather is always with Inzai Place to protect, their carry.
Man, oh man, that was pretty well. Let's go ahead and talk about what happened there, though, because the tricky part here for Dominitus Astra is that, like I mentioned, within the scaling, they were doing so well. They won a lot of fights within the later parts of the game. The problem was Nexus Esports, they had a better grasp of the macro that they needed to execute in order to make sure that the game went on long enough that they could dictate the things into their, pretty much take things into their own hands. And sobrang nag-ping-pong eh. Like,
yeah.
It just pretty much went back
Look
and
at the score. It's 18-18. Yeah. Exchange of kills.
I think the nail in the coffin for Dominitus Astra was just them. Because if you notice, 4 of their members were pushing in, trying to go for that base race split push. But without the Natalia, who was dishing out tons of damage in most of these fights, they lost out on a key carry right there. And that just pretty much sealed the deal for Nexus Esports.
Congratulations to Nexus Esports. You're moving to the semifinals match. Well, anyway, guys, we're going to be back within 5 minutes. Again, you're watching MeSA's Arena of Valor First Blood Tournament. This is definitely the First Blood. Make sure you follow us on Twitch, MeSA Official, like our Facebook page, MeSA Official, YouTube, MeSA Official. And yeah, we'll be back within 5 minutes. This is Kaisaya.
And I'm Arctic.
See you later.